The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, LaPine, Oregon, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 33767. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Let's start just under the front bumper, where you'll find a passenger and driver's side open-ended tow hooks just under the front bumper. Moving to the bumper extension side, you'll find a side-facing emergency light. Moving just forward to that location on the angle, you'll find the location of your siren PA speaker. Moving up, you'll find your bumper turret. Moving toward the center of the bumper extension, you'll find a tubbed storage location for your front bumper load. Moving over to the driver's side, you'll find a swivel 1.5-inch discharge. Let's move upward up onto the body itself, where you'll find your headlight structure housing the low and high beam headlights and turn indicator. Just inside of that, in the grille area, you'll find forward-facing emergency warning lights. As we move to the side fender, you'll find your turn marker light. Moving to the very center, you'll find the pull handle for tilting your hood. Moving to the side, you'll find a flat and convex mirror on the mirror housing. Moving up to the top, you'll find your clearance running lights. Located directly in the center, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight. And then moving up onto the top of the vehicle, you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Located inside the light bar, you'll find your Opticom directly in the center. Let's go ahead and take a few close-ups of the items that we just spoke about. First, starting underneath the front bumper, you'll find the open-ended tow hooks. Moving upward into the tubbed storage location, dry deck material inside, D-handle latch. Moving to the side, you'll find your swivel discharge. Moving to the bumper extension, you'll find your emergency warning light side facing that's recessed. You'll also find a cutout for that front bumper where you can reach down and utilize the handle. Picture of the grille here indicating the emergency warning lights, and then the actual headlights housing the turn and headlight housing. Let's move now to the side, where you'll find your air intake for the engine. You'll also find on the side, this is your release latch to release the hood. I would like to point out there is also a warning label here that you'll need to remove your front turret before tilting the hood. Moving downward now, you'll find your Alcoa wheels and Michelin tires. Moving just to the step area, you'll find an engine heater location for plugging an electrical cord. You'll also find the fill location for your ultra low sulfur diesel. And then you'll find in the black ABS tank with the blue cap, your DEF fill location. Here are some close-ups. This is the engine heater, DEF tank. Let's move now into the cab. We'll first start with the driver's area. Moving up to the door panel, you'll find a variety of warning labels affixed to the door panel. You'll also find this yellow placard. Let's go over a few items within that placard. This is your manufactured for your department, LaPine, Oregon. It has the date of manufacture, the 5-digit job number. It also has cold tire inflation. It also has all of the information regarding your VIN number and all the fluid capacity types. Down in the stepwell, you'll find your master battery switch, and you'll also find on your comfort seat, you'll find comfort controls. This is the up-down on your seat for the air ride. Located in the front, you'll find the front to back adjustment. Moving down to the lower section, you'll find an audible alarm. The outer edge of that audible alarm does have a bezel, allowing you to dampen the sound. You'll also find, for diagnostic information, your VMUX port location. Here's a close-up of the battery switch on and off. And then your vehicle is a keyed ignition.
This is on the left side of the dash. Moving to the front, you'll find your speed control, set Excel resume. You'll also find your headlight switch, and then also an increase, decrease for your speed. Let's move up to the placard itself on the vehicle. You'll find your vehicle has a height of 10 feet 2 inches, a length of 25 feet 2 inches, and a gross vehicle weight rating of 35,000 pounds. If you make any adjustments to your vehicle, please update this placard. Let's look to the dash now, identify a few items within this area. First, starting with the transmission temperature, water temperature, and oil. Moving to the other side, you'll find your air for front and rear air. You'll find a combination of ultra low sulfur and DEF gauge, speedometer and tachometer, and then you'll also find diagnostic information displayed above the speedometer. Moving to the right, you'll find your filter miner for your engine air filter, Allison transmission pad, individual window controls for front and rear. Moving slightly to the right, you'll find the yellow parking brake, pull to apply, push to release. Moving further to the right set of switches here, you're going to find your mirror heat, engine brake switch, a settings for low range or high range. You'll also find four-wheel drive lock, 12-volt access for USB and barrel style, your door locks located down at the bottom, and then a regen switch. Moving down to the very bottom, you'll find your climate control. Let's take a look at some items overhead. First, we'll start in the very center. You'll find your push on and off reading lights, and then also you'll find over each position, you'll find additional storage. Located directly in the center, you'll find the monitor for your backup camera. Let's move down in between the driver and passenger seat. You'll find this module. At the very top, you'll find all of your indication and warning lamps. Moving up, you'll find switches in regards to emergency warning lights. Just beneath that, you'll find your main pump. You'll also find high idle. In addition, you'll find all of your floodlights. Moving further down, you'll find your electric prime, pump pressure, which is a digital readout, and then also your water tank level indicator. Let's move just down to the right also. You'll see the joystick, which will control the actual monitor on the front of your bumper turret. In the upper right, you'll find emergency warning siren and also PA speaker system and an air horn push button. Let's move to the very back of the console where you'll find 12-volt access for USB style plug-in. Just a quick look around inside the cab, you'll find the two seats in the very back have SCBA mounts. In between those seats, you'll also find your battery charging system. When plugged into shore power, this will activate, in addition with the plugs located next to the seats. As we move back outside to the exterior, this is your shore power inlet. Let's move now to the rear section of the cab. I'd like to start with the pump panel at the very bottom. Your pump panel is enclosed at the very bottom section. You'll find all your color-coded and associated drains located within this area. This is just below the step. Let's move up from this location where we'll find a placard warning label regarding foam failure hazard. Moving down to the left, you'll find the driver's side auxiliary inlet. This is a 2.5-inch female inlet. Located in the center, you'll find your draft foam tank and fill foam tank operations. And then moving to the right, you'll find a 2.5-inch number 1 red driver's side discharge. This is the placard when tested at Pierce. You can see that it has the job number located in the upper right-hand corner. It will have all of your GPMs that were tested in addition with pump test pressures. This placard should be utilized with minimum operation maintenance schedule. Let's move just to the right where you'll find your warning label again regarding foam failure hazard, but just to the right you'll find this is your Darley pump capacity or pressure. On the left-hand side you'll find pressure engaged, and on the right-hand side you'll find capacity engaged. Those are the two options for your pump. Let's move just to the right where you'll find behind the pan door, the yellow handle indicates the instructions on the door. That's your foam fill operations. Only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment only after they've received proper training. Moving to the right, you'll find your tank to pump. You'll see that its in is open and out is closed. Just up from that, you'll find your tank fill and recirculating line. Moving further up, you'll find your electric prime. Note that there is a caution label here for best practices at 1000 RPMs. You'll also find your engine cooler. These are twist, not pull. And just up from that, you'll find your reel discharge. Moving to the left, you'll find the number 1 speed lay. It is water and foam capable. Once again, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment and only after they've received the proper training. I would like to point out this warning hazard here regarding pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening. At the very top, you'll find the number 1 speed lay. Let's move up to the very top of the pump panel where you'll find the pump discharge. This is your master gauge. Moving down below that, you'll find your master gauge for your pump intake. Moving just to the right, you'll find a combination module here. This is the water and foam level indicator. Moving further to the right, you'll find a speaker. This is an audible alarm. The outer edge of the bezel does allow you to dampen the sound. If you've properly engaged your pump, you'll find this green pump engaged indicator, and then just beneath that, you'll find a pump hours meter. Moving to the right, you'll find when you're in test mode, this is your vacuum and pressure test gauge ports. Moving down to the left, we'll find your pressure throttle governor. We'll go over this next. First, starting in the upper left-hand corner, if illuminated, it would be a check engine light and it would be yellow. Located in the center, you'll find a digital readout for the RPM. To the right, you'll find, if illuminated, a red stop engine light. Moving further down on the same module, you'll find a menu button in orange, allowing you to scroll through the various menu functions. Located directly in the center, you'll find engine diagnostic information. To the right in red, you'll find a silence button, allowing you to silence the audible alarm that may be sounding. As we move down, there are 2 buttons here, one pressure, the other RPM. This allows you to select either one of those 2, either pressure mode or throttle mode. Located in the center, you'll find a digital readout, and then to the right, you'll find a green indicator indicating that the pressure throttle governor is ready to be engaged for increasing the throttle. Moving further down, you'll find a preset button in green, and then at the very bottom, right to increase, left to decrease, and push in the center for your idle position. You'll also find a thermostatic controlled heat gauge. You can see that it's either in the on position or it's giving a fault indication. This is automatic. To the right, you'll find your Husky foam system. The green is the on and off button. You'll find a foam percentage digital readout. The gray buttons will be either increase or decrease, and the yellow is a prime button. There are instructions on the face of this module and also an indicator indicating the system details. To the right, this is your Husky 3 foam specifications. This is the placard affixed to the panel regarding your Husky 3 foam system. Down at the very bottom, we'll find all of your switches and also future switches if are necessary, and also a reel rewind. Let's move just up and slightly to the left. This is going to be where you'll find your pre-connected line located in between the cab and midship of the pump. As we move to the side, you'll find side-facing floodlights. To the very rear, you'll also find an emergency warning light and also one down at the lower section. As we move, you'll find 2 pan doors located here. These are going to be for SCBA bottle storage location, and we'll go over those in just a minute, and also a lower storage location. Let's first cover some highlights. Once again, at the very top, this is that side-facing scene light. As we move to the rear, you'll find the top-mounted emergency warning light. Moving down now with the compartment open, you can find adjustable shelves inside the compartments and also LED lighting. Just in front of the rear tire is where you'll find 2 SCBA bottle storage locations. Located directly over the rear axle in the compartment is where you'll find adjustable shelves, and also when plugged into shore power, your air compressor will maintain brake pressure. Located to the rear of the axle, you'll find SCBA bottle storage location. To the very rear, Just behind the rear axle, you'll find an additional storage location and also an emergency warning light. Let's move now to the rear of the apparatus, first starting with the brake, turn, and backup lights located on the passenger and driver side. You'll also find just above those flag holder. Further to the center, you'll find a backup camera. As we move now, you'll find emergency warning lights, passenger and driver side, upper and lower. There's also a drop down or fold down step located just in the rear on the passenger and driver side, with a rear scene light switch located just inside by the grab handle. Just a quick reminder, entanglement hazard, that's what this warning light is for because of those hoses coming aloft. You'll also find a do not ride on the back of the apparatus and also a fault warning label. As we move underneath, you'll find two attachment points on the passenger and driver side frame rail. Moving to the very center, you'll find that pressure warning hazard. Caps may be under pressure, be cautious when opening them. To the left, you'll find a 2.5-inch discharge, and on the right, you'll find an 1.5-inch discharge. Located in the center, you'll find a 2.5-inch inlet. Moving further to the right, you'll find a twist. This is going to be for your backpack fill location. As we move to the very center, you'll find adjustable shelves inside, once again ventilation and LED lighting. Just a close-up here of the backup camera. As we move to the very bottom, you'll see the passenger side drop-down step. There are also 3 steps on each side, starting with a foundational step and then 2 additional steps moving up from that location. On the right-hand side, rear, you'll find long tool storage and also a ladder storage compartment. Let's go ahead now and move to the very top section of the vehicle. We'll move just in front of or to the rear of the cab area where you'll find 2 compartments here with D handles. Let's gain access into those compartments, first starting on the left side where you'll find your Husky 3 foam system. This is the hydraulic fill pump and fill location. To the right, you'll find additional storage. Moving further to the right, you'll find your reel. Let's go back now just a little bit further in the dunnage area where you'll find your water tank top fill location and then also a top fill location for your foam system. We'll now move to the passenger side of the vehicle, starting with a quick glance of the vehicle itself. The compartment layout is very similar moving around to the passenger side. We have the emergency warning light in the very rear section and also a pan door at the bottom. Moving up, adjustable shelving inside at the very rear access panel. At the very top, an emergency warning light. Let's move now to the SCBA bottle storage location. Moving down to the rear axle, you'll find once again Michelin tires and also Alcoa wheels. Moving just forward to that location, you'll find your exhaust. Be cautious where you park, extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures. Moving to the center, you'll find an adjustable shelf and LED lighting inside the compartment. The very front section, you'll find a side-facing floodlight. Moving now to the pump panel area, this is the midsection. Let's start at the very bottom. Once again, your pump is fully enclosed. You'll also find your drains, which are color-coded and labeled, in addition with perimeter lighting. Let's start here with your passenger side auxiliary inlet. That's a female inlet. Moving upward from this location, you'll find a warning label regarding pressure hazard. Moving further up, you'll find the number 2 speed lay. It is water and foam capable. Further up, you'll find your reel rewind. That's a push button for rewinding the reel. Moving further up in the pan door, you'll find your foam drain. This is a twist, not a pull. And then a quick view here of the side compartment with the door in the open position. As we move to the very top, to the reel itself, you'll find a spool tensioning knob on the right-hand side. Quick view here of the pre-connected line in between the cab and the pump panel. As we look underneath, you'll find a step lights and also 2 D handles, which will allow you to gain access inside a large storage compartment to the rear section of the cab. Moving underneath, you'll find step lights. Moving inside the cab, you'll see the forward-facing rear seats. As we move just inside, you'll also find comfort controls on those seats. This is the officer seat. You'll find a air ride system. Looking overhead, push on and off white reading lights and also the storage location. General here of the center console. Congratulations, LaPine, Oregon Rural Fire Protection District, on your new Pierce Fire apparatus. If you have any questions regarding your apparatus, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.